Okay, so you've decided your dog needs a probiotic, and that's a good call because most dogs need help with their gut health at one point or another. So you make your way to the probiotic aisle or you start searching online, and then you realize there are a lot of different probiotics to choose from. Some are expensive and some are cheap. How do you know you're not getting ripped off? And what the heck is a CFU or a Lactobacillus bulgaricus? Now, don't worry. I'm here to help you find the best probiotic for your dog. These are the top 5 things you need to look for before you buy that probiotic. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you're notified when we talk about probiotics again. Now, first is the number of CFUs. CFU stands for colony-forming units, and this is the number of live bacteria in the product. Now, this is probably the most important part of the probiotic because bacteria are living little beings, and they need to be alive to help your dog. Dead bacteria will just be digested. They won't colonize, and they won't crowd out the unwanted harmful bacteria. The problem is, bacteria are pretty delicate, and a lot of them will be killed as they travel through the acids of your dog's stomach. So you need a lot of them to make sure that there are at least some survivors left to give your dog health benefits. So how many CFUs should you look for, Eli? If your dog is pretty healthy and you just want to add probiotics for health benefits, then you can give about 5 to 10 billion CFU. But if your dog has digestive problems or you feel his gut health needs a restart, then look for something more in line of 40 to 50 billion CFU. Now, the number of CFUs also depends on the type of probiotic inside. Most probiotics are lactobacillus and bifidobacterium species, which are much more delicate, so you'll need more of them. Soil-based probiotics, which are the bacillus strains, they can form a protective spore when they're stressed, so they're much hardier. If you want to give your dog soil-based probiotics, you can go with 1 to 5 billion CFU. Now, the second thing to look for is expiration date. Bacteria can only live so long in a jar, so the expiry date is also important. Dead bacteria can't help your dog, so check for the expiry date, because you'd be surprised how often expired products are on the shelves. Now, most probiotics are shelf stable, but once you get them home, it's still a good idea to keep them in a cool, dark place, or preferably in your fridge, and this will keep more bacteria alive for longer. Now, the next criteria is the bacteria species. The key to a healthy gut is a diverse bacteria population, and the same applies to your dog's probiotic. So in general, you want a few bacteria species in your product, not just 1 or 2. And if the species aren't listed on the label, buy another probiotic. Now, most probiotic supplements contain lactobacillus and bifidobacterium species, and that's because they're some of the most researched strains of bacteria. Now, lactobacillus species like Lactobacillus acidophilus or salivarius, these are lactic acid producing bacteria. They like to live in your dog's small intestine where your dog's food is digested. Now, lactic acid makes for an inhospitable environment for pathogenic bacteria. You might see them on a label as L. acidophilus because the bacteria genus is often abbreviated. Now, lactobacilli are normal inhabitants of your dog's digestive tract, and they're most often used for diarrhea, allergies, constipation, and diabetes. Some of the lactobacillus species that you should look for include Lactobacillus casei. Now, this species lives in the mucous membrane of your dog's intestine and is an important part of the gut-brain axis. This guy can actually help balance your dog's mood and emotions. Lactobacillus plantarum and rhamnosus have been researched in dogs, so make sure your dog's probiotic contains these 2 guys too. They have a better survival rate than some of the other lactobacillus species, and they help build healthy colon walls in dogs with bowel disease, and they can help with antibiotic-related diarrhea. Now, the bifidobacterium species can also produce lactic acid. They live in your dog's colon or his large intestine. Bifidobacterium species produce a short-chain fatty acid called butyrate, and this feeds the cells that line your dog's colon and also helps balance your dog's immune system and regulate insulin and blood sugar. Now, they've also been used to manage skin conditions and fight viruses. Now, some of the Bifidobacterium species you should look for are Bifidobacterium animalis. Now, this has been researched in dogs, and it can help with acute diarrhea. Bifidobacterium longum has also been studied in dogs, and it can help with diarrhea and food allergies. And it's also involved in the gut-brain axis, and studies show that it can reduce the signs of stress in dogs. Now, soil-based probiotics are usually found as bacillus strains. These guys are the spore-forming bacteria, and this means that they can form a hard protective coating that protects them from the heat, stomach acids, and most antibiotics. Two of the major players here are Bacillus subtilis. Now, this species is found in the guts of healthy dogs, and it was used to treat urinary tract infections before antibiotics were developed. Bacillus subtilis has a strong influence on the immune system, and it helps produce an antibody called immunoglobulin A. Now, this is good news for dogs with autoimmune disease because they're normally short on immunoglobulin A, and that's bad news because this immunoglobulin helps build a healthy gut lining, which prevents leaky gut, and it also produces vitamin K. Bacillus coagulans is a lactic acid-producing bacteria that's also anti-inflammatory. It's been shown to control inflammatory bowel diseases and even improve the signs of rheumatoid arthritis. And there's one more important guy that you should look for. It is probiotic, but it's a yeast, not a bacteria. Saccharomyces boulardii is a healthy yeast that can not only help fight diarrhea, but also fight yeast infections. And it's also unique because it can't be killed by antibiotics. So you can give your dog this friendly yeast while he's on antibiotics to help protect the beneficial gut bacteria. Is this helping? If so, just type yes or no in the comments below. Okay, now there's two more things to look for in your dog's probiotic. Okay, next you want to check the label to make sure it contains prebiotics. Prebiotics are fibers that your dog can't digest, but they feed the healthy bacteria species. If your dog's probiotic contains prebiotics, then they come complete with their own food to make sure that they have the best chance at attaching and growing in your dog's gut. Now, some of bacteria's favorite foods are FOS, or fructooligosaccharides, inulin, mushrooms, dandelion, and burdock root. They also like to eat maltodextrin, but you want to avoid this. If your dog's probiotic contains maltodextrin, it can spike his blood sugar and cause insulin resistance over time. Now, the last thing you want to look for in your dog's probiotic product is what's not in it. You'll want to avoid inactive ingredients that can harm your dog because, after all, you're buying probiotics to improve your dog's health. So avoid fillers and flavors like glycerin, dried potato product, natural flavor, tapioca. They're just not good for your dog. Now, did this video help you feel more comfortable with probiotics? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe for new videos like this every single week. And if you're serious about your dog's health, make sure you join the DNM Pack mentoring group on Facebook with thousands of dog lovers just like you all over the world. Join us and give your dog the naturally healthy life he deserves. Thanks so much for watching.